The truth is, comfort is killing you. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the hard thing, you're practicing how to quit. And one day when life hits you, you'll realize you've been training for weakness your whole damn life. This is the 8-part journey that will break the softness, strip away the excuses, and build a calloused mind that nothing can destroy. From the first truth to the final war cry, every step will hurt, but that's exactly why it works. Part 1, neurofact and shock value. Let me tell you something. Nobody out there is telling you. And if you can understand this, you'll never live the same way again. This is not a feel-good quote. This is not a motivational meme. This is fucking science. Inside your head, there's a section of your brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. It's the control room for mental endurance, decision-making, and the ability to push through pain. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. When you live a soft, easy life, that part of your brain shrinks. Literally. The less you challenge yourself, the more fragile you become. You're wiring yourself to quit the second life gets hard. Think about it. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They hit snooze, they skip the workout, they choose convenience over discipline, they run from pain, thinking they're making their lives better, when in reality they're making themselves weaker, softer, slower. They're building a brain that can't handle the smallest challenge, let alone the big ones. But here's the flip side. When you do the things you don't want to do, the freezing run before sunrise, the heavy lift when your body's sore, the extra set when your muscles are on fire, that part of your brain grows stronger. You're not just building physical strength, you're forging mental armor. You're callousing your mind so that nothing, not pain, not fear, not doubt, can break you. And it's not just theory, it's biology. Your brain adapts to whatever you give it. If you give it comfort, it adapts to being soft. If you give it struggle, it adapts to being unbreakable. So here's the real question. Do you make your life harder on purpose? Do you step into discomfort with intention? Do you seek out suffering or do you hide from it? Because here's the truth. Comfort will kill your mind. Suffering will save it. And the only way to be ready for the storms that are coming, because they are coming, is to force yourself to suffer. Part 2, the psychology of discomfort. Let me break it down for you. Your brain's main job is not to make you happy. It's to keep you alive. And there's a huge difference between those two things. Your brain is hardwired for safety, predictability, and energy conservation. That's why every time you're faced with something uncomfortable, the alarm clock at 4:30 a.m., the cold water in the shower, the extra set in the gym when your muscles are burning, the first instinct is to avoid it. Your mind starts whispering, take the easy way, save your energy, rest. And the dangerous thing is, you believe it. Comfort feels good right now, but it's a debt you'll pay later. It robs you of resilience. It dulls your edge. Every time you choose ease over effort, you're rehearsing the act of quitting. And quitting, just like discipline, is a skill. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. That's why people break so easily. They've trained for years to give up. Discomfort is the opposite. Discomfort is nature's ultimate growth tool. Every breakthrough in your life has come from doing something you didn't want to do, the run you didn't feel like taking, the conversation you didn't want to have, the exam you didn't want to study for. Every single victory came from leaning into something that made you uncomfortable. You have to understand, discomfort isn't just pain. It's a signal. It's your body and mind telling you, this is where growth happens. When you feel that pressure, that fear, that resistance, that's the exact point where you should lean in, not pull away. That's where the transformation lives. But here's the problem. Most of you wait for life to bring discomfort to you. That's a mistake. Because when it shows up on its own, it's usually too late to prepare. You have to go out and hunt discomfort. Schedule it. Build it into your life. Train with it every single day until pain becomes a familiar place, not an emergency. This is the psychology of discomfort. Stop running from the things that make you sweat, make you ache, make you doubt yourself. Start chasing them. The more you can normalize discomfort, the more you can operate under stress without losing your head. And when you can do that, you become dangerous because you've trained yourself to do what everyone else avoids. So next time your brain tells you to take it easy, recognize what's happening. It's trying to protect you from the very thing that will make you stronger. Don't let it. Step into the fire because that's the only place your mind evolves. Part 3. Contrast and transformation. You want to know why most people break? It's not because life hit them harder than it hit me. It's because they never trained for the hit. There are two types of minds in this world, the soft mind and the calloused mind. A soft mind avoids pain. It runs from struggle. It hides behind excuses. It needs perfect conditions to even show up. A calloused mind, it doesn't wait for perfect. It doesn't give a damn about conditions. Rain, cold, pain, fear, it shows up anyway, every single time. The difference between the two isn't genetics. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's exposure. The soft mind has been protected its whole life. It's been fed comfort. It's been shielded from adversity. So when real life finally comes swinging, it folds, it cracks, it begs for mercy. The calloused mind has lived in the fire. It's been through the grind, the disappointment, the failure, the embarrassment, the humiliation, and it kept going. It's been hit, knocked down, dragged through the dirt, and it got back up every damn time. You see it everywhere. The soft mind quits at the first obstacle. The calloused mind expects the obstacle and keeps moving. The soft mind complains about how hard life is. The calloused mind knows that's the point. The soft mind needs motivation. The calloused mind runs on discipline. One is built for safety, the other is built for war. When you understand this contrast, you stop envying the people who are stronger than you, and you start building yourself into one of them. You stop wishing you had their life and start living the kind of life that builds you into a savage. You stop asking why them, and you start asking why not me? I used to have the softest mind you can imagine, lazy, overweight, afraid of everything. Every time something got hard, I quit. I found excuses. I convinced myself I wasn't meant for more. And then one day I realized the problem wasn't life. The problem was me. So I made a decision. I was going to strip away every layer of weakness. I was going to walk into the fire on purpose. I was going to take every fear, every doubt, every insecurity, and burn it out of me. That's the transformation. You don't get a calloused mind from reading books or watching videos. You get it from living in the grind day after day when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when it's just you and the pain. That's where the weak die and the strong are born. Part 4, Emotional Anecdote, the breaking point. People see me now and they think I've always been like this. They see the medals, the runs, the pull-up records, the speeches. They don't see where I came from. They don't see the darkness. I didn't grow up with a calloused mind. I grew up in fear. My father was abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally. I watched my mother get hurt. I heard screaming more than I heard laughter. Every day felt like walking through a minefield. And when you grow up like that, you learn how to survive. But survival is not living. At school, I was the slow kid, the quiet kid, the one who sat in the back hoping the teacher wouldn't call on him. I couldn't read well, I couldn't spell. And instead of learning, I learned how to hide. I learned how to disappear, because disappearing was safer than being exposed. By the time I was in my late teens, I was overweight. I'm not talking a little out of shape, and I'm talking 300 pounds. I was lying to myself every day. I'd tell myself, it's not that bad. I'll change tomorrow. But tomorrow never came. I ate whatever I wanted. I skipped every challenge. I avoided anything that would make me sweat, bleed, or hurt. I was comfortable, and I was dying inside. Then one night, something broke. I was spraying for cockroaches at a fast food restaurant for a living. That was my job. And I remember standing in that kitchen, grease on the walls, the smell of trash in the air, roaches crawling on my boots, thinking, is this it? Is this who I am? And in that moment, I saw my entire future. I saw the man I was becoming, overweight, broken, forgotten. I saw the decades of my life slipping away in the exact same pattern, and it scared the hell out of me. That night, I went home and looked in the mirror. And for the first time in my life, I told myself the truth. You are weak, you are undisciplined, you are lazy, and nobody is coming to save you. It wasn't a pep talk. It wasn't self. Part 5, Discipline Mantra, the grind you don't negotiate. Discipline isn't something you do when you feel good. Discipline is what you do when you feel like quitting. People confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is a spark, it comes and goes. You can wake up one morning ready to conquer the world, and the next morning you can't even get out of bed. If you rely on motivation, you'll only show up on your good days. And good days are rare. Discipline doesn't care about good days. Discipline is a contract you sign with yourself that doesn't expire when you're tired, sore, busy, or uninspired. When the alarm goes off, discipline gets up. When it's cold, discipline puts on the shoes. When you're tired, discipline does one more set. When you've already done enough, discipline says, we're not done yet. Here's the secret. Discipline is not built in comfort. You build it by doing the hard thing over and over again until it's automatic. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You ask, what's the mission? And then you execute, no matter how you feel. Every single day of my life, I have a list of things I do, no matter what. Run, stretch, strength train, read, write, reflect. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if I'm sore, if I'm traveling, if I'm sick. I don't negotiate with myself. I don't bargain for extra rest. The second you start negotiating, you've already lost. Discipline is a muscle. If you skip the workout today, that muscle gets weaker. If you show up no matter what, it gets stronger. And here's the truth. Most people are so out of shape mentally that they can't do anything without the perfect set of conditions. But life will never give you perfect conditions. You want to know why I train when I'm tired? Why I run in the cold? Why I push past what's necessary? Because I'm preparing for the day when life hits me without warning. When the phone rings and the news is bad. When the money runs out. When the injury happens. when someone I love is gone. If you've trained to operate only when things are good, you're done the second things go bad. But if you've trained to operate no matter what, nothing can stop you. This is the discipline mantra. Show up every day no matter what. Don't let feelings decide your actions. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make the moment perfect by acting. Every rep, every mile, every page, every uncomfortable task, it's all a deposit in your mental bank account. And when life comes to collect, you'll be ready to pay in full. You want to be dangerous? Be the person who does the work when no one else will. Be the person who shows up when everyone else quits. Be the person who's so damn consistent that discipline isn't something you have to think about. It's just who you are. And that, right there, is how you become unstoppable. Part 6. The mirror moment. Face the truth. Stand in front of the mirror and tell me what you see. Not the filtered version, not the version you post online. The truth. Most people look in the mirror and see what they want to believe. I'm doing okay. I work hard. I'm a good person. But deep down, they know they've been lying to themselves. They know they're leaving work undone. They know they've been avoiding the hard things. The mirror doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your reasons, your story, your past. The mirror only reflects the results of your actions. And the truth is, you can't hide from it. When I was at my lowest, I avoided mirrors. I didn't want to see the man I had become. Overweight, weak, broken, a quitter. Every time I caught my reflection, I felt a stab of shame. And instead of fixing it, I'd turn away. That's what most of you do. You turn away. You distract yourself. You drown the truth in noise. But there's a moment, the mirror moment, where you stop running. You look yourself in the eye and you tell yourself exactly who you are, not who you wish you were, not who you pretend to be, who you are. And here's the part nobody likes. It's going to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. That's the pain of truth cutting through the lies you've been living. You can't build a calloused mind if you won't admit you've been soft. I want you to imagine something. Imagine the version of yourself that has done the work, the version that didn't quit, the version that suffered on purpose day after day, year after year, and came out the other side. This version of you walks differently, talks differently, moves differently. There's no hesitation in their step, no fear in their eyes, no shame in their reflection. They've been in the fire so long that the flames don't scare them anymore. They wear the burn marks like medals. When that upgraded version of you walks into a room, people feel it before you say a word. Not because you're loud, but because you're solid. You've been tested and you didn't break. You've faced storms and you didn't run. You've been under pressure and you didn't fold. You became a rock in a world of sand. This version of you doesn't crumble when things go wrong. They adapt. They don't complain about the weight. They get stronger. They don't look for the exit. They look for the way through. Because they've learned that discomfort isn't a threat. It's a signal. It's the compass pointing toward growth. You see, suffering has a gift. It strips away all the fake parts of you, the laziness, the excuses, the need for validation. What's left is something real, something unshakable. And the more you suffer with purpose, the clearer that version of you becomes. Think about it. A year from now, you could be that person, or you could still be sitting in the same place, making the same excuses, telling the same story about why you can't change. The difference? How much you're willing to suffer for the upgrade. But here's the thing. This isn't about building a superhero. This isn't about perfection. The upgraded version of you still gets tired, still gets hit, still bleeds. The difference is they keep moving. They've trained their mind to operate under pain, under fear, under chaos. And because of that, they're dangerous in a world full of people looking for the easy way out. That's the vision I want in your head every time you wake up. Not the comfort you want now, but the strength you'll have later. Not the short-term relief, but the long-term respect from yourself. When you start seeing yourself that way, you stop looking for shortcuts. You stop envying other people's results. You stop wasting time waiting for the perfect moment. You just put your head down and build, day after day, year after year, until one day you wake up and you are that upgraded version. And when you get there, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say, suffering isn't the enemy, suffering was the architect, and it built you into something unbreakable. Part 8, closing power note, the war cry. When this is over, you're going to have a choice, and you'll make it in the next 10 seconds. The choice to stay the same or to become something else entirely. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to push you out of bed. Nobody's going to run the miles for you, lift the weights for you, or fight your battles for you. This is your life, your responsibility, your war. And the truth, Most people will walk away from it. They'll say, it's too much. They'll tell themselves, I'll start next week. And next week becomes next month becomes next year. And before they know it, they've wasted their life living on repeat. But you don't have to be most people. You can decide right here, right now, that comfort is the enemy, that weakness is unacceptable, that every day from this point forward is going to have pain in it. And not just pain that life throws at you, pain you go out and find. Because that's the difference between the soft and the calloused mind. The soft mind waits for the test. The calloused mind creates the test. It hunts the suffering before it arrives. It builds armor before the war. I want you to imagine your future self looking back at this exact moment. What are they going to say? Are they going to thank you for making the hard choice, for building the discipline, for putting in the miles, the reps, the hours when no one else would? Or are they going to curse you for wasting another year hiding in comfort? 10 years from now, you're going to meet the person you could have been. That's not some motivational